Hello, I'm Arlie and this is Arlie Tarot, and today we are going to do a daily reading, an energy check-in, if you will, and see what messages want to come through for the collective. I almost want to call you guys the 23 collective because that is the number that keeps popping up as significant, but also I guess 2 and 3 are 5, so maybe it's the 5 collective. I don't know. Yeah, there's I kind of like the energy that has been coming through, so I don't know why I'm fidgeting so much with that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's get into your reading. I have 2 oracle decks that I'm using today. I'm mainly going to start pulling kind of like the theme or information to begin with from the Shaman's Dream Oracle, which is this one. Then we're going to use tarot, and then I have the Sacred Geometry Oracle that we're going to use for advice at the end. And it's interesting because I looked up at the timer and it was 111, so that also could be significant. All right, lots of numbers seem to be a thing. I am going to start with the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Look at that. Speaking of numbers consecutive like that, that's interesting. 15, 16. Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Empty well, time to replenish. There is something about setting your space up to be in a certain mood, or some of you could be moving things around to feel like where you are feels more at home. Something about feeling homey. But there's something also about very clean spaces, clean lines. 90-degree angles, 45-degree angles are coming up for some reason. Kind of like beautiful, clean architecture kind of thing. It keeps coming up too. I don't know where that's coming from. Something about being someone who likes to sit on the floor. And setting up your space to invite more of that, if that makes sense. Very interesting. It feels very Venusian energy, like Taurus energy, or not even Taurus either, Cancerian with the 4th house, in the sense of setting up your space to feel more like home, feel more like you. Moving things around. Feng shui could be significant as well. Something about the home is very significant. Maybe some of you are moving homes, or you're looking for a place to move. Ooh, that was interesting. Beloved, radical acceptance. The crossing with initiation. Okay, a new chapter coming in here for some of you. I don't know where all of that was coming from, but it came from somewhere, and maybe it resonates, and if it doesn't, that's okay. It's for someone who's gonna watch this. All right, let's see what this collective needs to hear right now. Also, just to finish my initial little spiel there, what the divine is saying, it's you create spaces that are like this, inviting and beautiful and homey, but you also are someone who carries that energy with you wherever you go. And that's quite beautiful. Okay. It's not just like aesthetically, it's not just aesthetically pleasing. It's like a deeper level to that. 59 with LINKTREE, reconciliations. Interesting. This tree is, it looks like it's on fire, but at the same time, it's not. It's more like alive, like lightning, not lightning per se, lighting could be significant. And obviously, yeah, there is sadness here. There is, but the fire is making me think of a phoenix energy. Reconciliations, though. It's not just reconciliation, it's with an S, so plural. Maybe some friendships or connections in general, relationships of yours are doing a 180. They're coming back around with a more balanced energy. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. Wow, okay. Just by looks, these are such like opposite things. This card for me also always makes me think of like parting the sea, because these look like walls that have been opened up for this ship to be able to go through, but it's almost like if they close, they are also just, it's just water, it's just the sea here. So you're a drifter that makes their own way, if you will. Here you are drifting along thinking, there's something about thinking that you're alone, but you're actually not alone. You have a lot of help, a lot of support all around you. Magic is all around you. Okay, 5 and 9 equal 14, which is 5. And then we have 14, which is also 5. Do you see what I mean? Like, I love the number 5 because it's about change, movement. So it's definitely 5 is significant here. And another 5. Wow. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. Do you see how these two feel very connected to each other? This is what I meant by like, it's almost like you're in the depths here. And then sometimes you're able to like open up a whole new path for yourself. So experiencing life as it comes and movement towards adventure. And it's a sailboat, and it's giving me 6 of swords vibes, like the moving to calmer waters kind of thing. But it's also like you are not moving to calmer waters, you bring the calm as well. Wow. Okay. One more. Garden of Eden. Yeah, I mean, Garden of Eden. That's not even what I wanted to say. I was gonna read the card. Garden of Eden is Garden of Eden is what I said, but it's the Garden of Venus. Again, there's the Venetian energy that I was feeling. Rest and renewal. It's a little fox right here, taking a little nappy times. Obviously, there's butterflies. There's a beautiful heart hanging here. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful garden. Wow. Okay. Venusian energy. I got confirmation for that. I love that. Let me move these around a little bit. Okay. A lot of complexities here. So now I'm seeing 555, and now we have a 25 and a 7. You're not gonna believe the bottom of the deck right now. 5. Closing doors with completion. Okay. That brings me back to the energy of the 6 of swords. I don't know if I said the 5 of swords, but what I meant was the 6 of swords, which is again moving to calmer waters. You might have actually closed yourself off to certain people, places, certain habits, things in general, and slowly decided, okay, I'm just gonna drift along, find my own path. 6 of Wands at the bottom, and see where it leads, and it's leading you to a very beautiful place. Some of you could definitely be moving, definitely. And I'm hearing if you haven't found the place yet, right? Whether it is that you're moving like super far away, out of state, across the country, across the world, or just, you know, within your city. If you haven't found the place where you're going, you're about to. Wow. You're moving towards a lot of harmony and beauty and things that not only resonate with you, but that you deserve now. Like, not deserve now like you didn't deserve it before, but more like, yeah, you're moving towards the harmony that you have been trying to curate. That's the word that I kept like trying to get that word out, but I couldn't put my finger on. Yeah, you're like curating. You seem to be a curator of spaces, but you do it energetically first, and then the vision comes in of like, oh, I should put this there, and maybe I need this kind of furniture, or you know, rearrange the things that you already have to make it feel how you feel internally. That is really, really beautiful. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Let's double down on that Venus energy, Taurus energy. The Death card flew out upside down, but it's not, I don't feel like it's upside down, because this feels like the bottom of the deck is what this Death card feels like. Closing doors and completion. Completing a certain cycle here. Maybe the completion of the cycle is with these relationships. It does feel like it's people, really, overall, that you had maybe falling outs with, or just in general, you needed to address certain things and then move on. It feels like you have. This very much feels in the past. Okay. And this more feels like where you're headed. Yeah. Wow. Talk about two cards that are about closing cycles and growth. And again, Phoenix energy right off the bat with this imagery here. So, ooh, okay. Some kind of collaboration as well seems to be in the horizon, but a more harmonious one. Again, the word harmony is very prominent here too. Look at that. The happiest card in the deck. The Sun. I feel like I'm saying a lot and I'm not being very specific, but it'll resonate with whoever needs to. For some reason, I'm not getting super specific things. I'm just getting this broad kind of zoomed out look into your life or your path at this moment. You feel like someone who is at peace with a lot of things now. And in being at peace with a lot of things in your life, or just in general, you have this sense of calm and this sense of direction at the same time. Maybe you are experiencing a time where things are moving a little slower than you would like, but the divine is saying it's with purpose. It's kind of like you're replenishing yourself a little bit because of maybe the things, the lots of traveling that you've been doing. And if it's not physical, it might be spiritual. Like you've done a lot of spiritual work, and now slowly certain cycles are closing in your life so that you can head towards a more aligned version of your life. And that encompasses probably where you're living. Like I said, maybe it's your literal home where you're living, or it's the home, the city, the state, the country. You know, it could be various things, but where you're living seems to be shaping up to be a different place. Maybe even where your work is going to be a different kind of work that you'll be doing eventually here. I'm getting next 5 months or so. and that it's all being welcomed by you, by the way. I don't feel you're resisting this at all, which again is very beautiful. Because sometimes we want change, or we want things to change, but we are a little reluctant and resistant to change. And it's only natural, you know, we get used to things as humans, and even though we might want change, we still feel comfortable where we are. I don't see you feeling uncomfortable per se. Maybe you do, but it's more of like, it's time to change. It's time. You know, you feel it already. You feel that it is time for a change. A lot of major arcana here for you as well. Justice, Page of Swords, Ace of Cups, Four of Wands, Six of Swords. That's this card right there for sure. All right. I'm not going to take those cards because I wasn't asking anything. Justice, I will keep. I will keep Justice because it does feel like you have probably worked through, I want to say burnt out a lot of the karma that you needed to alchemize here. And a more stable foundation has been created for you. And now you're just building upon that. We are in Libra season, so if that's significant for you, maybe some of you are having a birthday. Okay. I feel like I want to get a little bit more specific, so I am, okay? Let's see. See what I want. See, like nothing comes to mind about asking anything. It's so interesting. Okay, let's see if what kind of change is happening here. Changes in regards to what are happening here. Knight of Wands and the Devil. I think you've broken, again, yeah, you've cleared a lot of karma. I think you've broken a lot of you know, what you felt were like things that were chaining you down, holding you down to certain things. And now there's like more passion coming into your life, but it's not being, because sometimes the Knight of Wands could be someone who is like very hot and cold, in and out, a player kind of essence, right? It doesn't feel this way at all. If anything, it feels like since this has been taken care of, this energy now is more stable, but also still it's keeping that lightheartedness and that passion behind it that drives you to go somewhere. All right, what else do we need to know? Again, look at that, more wands. Yeah, very inspired action from you here. Growth from maybe spiritual growth is also significant, but also growth in the sense of it's, I want to say growing into childlike wonder. And that I don't even, that's what I want to say, but there, I need to like dissect that even for myself to understand that it's more of you get to a point where you're wise enough to know that you don't know anything, right? You get to a point that you are grown up enough to know that you need to have playfulness in your life, have passions in your life, be more carefree. Does that make sense? Like, it's like the older you get, the more that you're aligning to, again, childlike wonder and following your passions and being very open to change and shifts. And you know, you feel like you're supported every step of the way, because this feels like the Fool energy as well. Look at that, jumping out. Okay. You've gained clarity. You've gained maturity as well. Peace of mind is what this feels like today. It feels like you're not burdened by maybe in the past you were burdened by overthinking, and maybe that kind of froze you from taking action, but it doesn't feel like that anymore. Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what else I can dig up here, because it feels like the message is so vague. Okay. But again, I just work here. I gotta deliver what I gotta deliver. I'm not, oh, okay. You see, it came up, it went down. Again, that might be what I was picking up with the King of Swords. That's like you used to maybe be a little paralyzed by choices, and that is not the case anymore. So I'm not keeping this card. You're not paralyzed by upcoming change or having to make a decision. It's almost like you welcome those situations now. Yeah, you have a very solid foundation here. When it comes to, I feel, your spiritual pursuits, but also the people that you want to be around, or the people that you gravitate towards you, or you gravitate towards them. Maybe soul family is significant here as well. You have a good sense of who you are, and it's unshakable is what I'm getting with this, because I'm getting, more than anything, I'm getting the foundation part of what this card represents. Also, by the way, 4th house heavily here again with the number 4. And look at this, you actually pulled it this time. The 6 of Swords. Yeah, I think you're living a very empowered time of your life, where even though, you know, from an outside perspective, or even from an outside perspective of yourself, let's say 6 years ago, you would have looked at your life now with what only you knew 6 years ago, and you would have been like, well, I don't even know how I'm making it in the future. How am I making these big moves and decisions? Because that kind of life will paralyze me. That kind of choices with little resources will paralyze me. This is you thinking of yourself if you were to view your life from the past. But now you're over here 6 years later, right? Wiser, older, more rounded, and your beliefs more stable, more it's like a solid foundation within. And you see your life right now and you're like, well, we're going with the flow. And you look back at your life, let's say 6 years ago, and you were like, I had it great. It was a great life. I could have done more, or I could have done this and that and the other. I was less restricted, or something like that. It's almost like the fact that we cannot rewrite the past, right? But we can learn from it, and you have learned from it, because now you're not letting what would have paralyzed you in the past that you're living right now to paralyze you at all. That is really interesting. Yeah, there's that. I don't, that one's this. There's that second guessing, choices needing to be made. You're almost not wanting to look at the things that you need to do or not do, or pursue, or leave behind. You don't do this anymore. Wow, I'm very proud of you. That's incredible. Wow. Okay. I think we're done with the tarot, but I'm just gonna shuffle again and see if anything else wants to come up here. Yeah, new beginnings indeed. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel also like, oh, this is like quite literally a divine gift, an offering from the universe to you. And the universe is saying back to you, actually, no, it's not that this is being given, it's that you've arrived at this. You did this, you got here, okay? Something about that is significant. Like you were the ones who got there. It's not just magically being like a wish granted. It's not, well, it's not to say that it's not magic. I don't want to say that, but I also want you to believe in yourself and the foundations that you've set here, because that is the result. This is the result of all of that. You have a beautiful trajectory moving forward. And the reason why it is so is because you've also have a beautiful trajectory that has led you to this point. That is so beautiful. Okay. I'm also hearing home. The word home is significant. And it's significant in the sense of wherever you are your home. Oh, wow. That makes me emotional. Okay. And they're saying this foundation that you've set is so deep within you, is rooted within you now, that you're unshakable. Like, it's... And even if you're shakeable, you weather the storm. You know how buildings sway because they need to? And you think, oh, well, it's a solid structure, it shouldn't be moving, but it needs to go along and be symbiotic with its environment. That's you. Oh, wow. That is really beautiful. Okay. And all of this has come about from you learning so much, like, about yourself, knowing yourself so deeply. Okay, let's get some advice for you from the Sacred Geometry Oracle, which I love. I love this deck. And it's not just because I love Sacred Geometry, which I have like everywhere, but I just love this deck in general. But then again, okay, I have to mention it because it keeps coming up as a theme. Something about architecture, again, lines, angles are significant. Geometry itself could be significant. You might be someone who admires things like that. Okay. And I don't know how that plays into your life in general, but I don't know, it wants to come up. Tenderness. Oh, I got this card the other day when I did a reading for myself, so this is interesting. Okay, the energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the Venus energy gives me this vibe as well. The number 4, which is, 40, which adds up to 4, which is again that Cancerian energy, the sense of home. And then I think I want to do one more for you. Connections. Another 14, which is a 5. The frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. Okay, 100%. Yes, that is definitely for you, because that is you. It's like you're traveling, you're moving to, you're setting a foundation somewhere where you feel a deep resonance, a deep connection with things. It's like an initial thing, like you're like, yeah, that's definitely the place. Or you know, when you're looking for like an apartment or somewhere to live, and you look at many places and then you find the one you're like, oh my God, yes, it's this one. I don't know, maybe it's not the best of choices or whatever, but you feel like that is the place. Exactly. That's you feeling that resonance with things. You need to follow that, okay? I don't think you deny yourself the things that you resonate with to begin with, but they're saying that's your advice. First of all, you need to be very open and gentle, not just with yourself, but with like just in general. Carry that essence, and then whatever you feel very connected to will like align with you. These two feel like we're zooming into here, and this is after you zoom in. Obviously the teal, the greens, the blues are significant as well. The yellow is significant. this makes me think of an autumn, and then this too, like, you know how that's depicted, and I'm not sure if it's coming up on camera, but like, you know, everything moving and things aligning. The more that I look, the more that I want my words, Jesus, my mind's eye just wants to go deeper in there, and like, it's like I can see more. I don't know if that's happening to you as you see this, but incredible. Wow. Thank you so much for trusting me to read for you. I feel very honored when I get to tap into this collective, my God, words. Okay. I feel very honored when I get to tap into these collectives, and I get to like kind of see a snippet of other people's lives, and the way that they look at the world and experience it is very beautiful. I love your energy. It is very calming and very, again, very homey, but homey, organized, and but at the same time very tender. Yeah, very tender, and very, very inspiring too. I've been smiling the entire time that I've been reading for you as well, so that's quite nice. All right, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in other readings. Bye bye.